gonna be what? Yeah. Look up right. Look up right. Look at you. See your white wall. Apple cider 4.5. Dun, 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 dun. What is going on? What is going on? Thank you, dude. Cheers to you. No, you're not. You're not even in it. You're just sitting there. What's going on, everybody? Thank you, everybody. Bigger Saskatchewan. Hello, hello. Congratulations. Howdy. Hi. Attaboy. Hey, Clayton. Hey, buddy. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Michael Lowe. Hope everything's well with you, buddy. Come fishing at Fishing Lake up by Foam Lake. I do actually want to fish. I do want to fish Fishing Lake at some point. I do. This is all messed up here. There. Thanks, Dason. Appreciate it, buddy. Cheers, Sean. I believe this is the Sean that I met the other night. Nice to meet you. How's everybody doing on this? What day is it? Friday. It's Friday. I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore, it feels like. Clayton, you are amazing. Only because you really don't know me. 50K is just the beginning. Let's hope so. Let's hope. If you go fishing lake, pick me up. Yeah, Dason, you live right down there, don't you? I would like to fish Fishing Lake at some point. I really would. Oh, Ben, you're in quarantine because you came back from work. Just sneak the boat out when nobody's looking. Go fishing. Screw quarantine. I'm doing good. Got a new nickname for you. Ooh, I don't know if I want to hear that, but okay. I'm curious what the nickname is. Heard lots about Fishing Lake. Gonna have to give it a try. Yeah. Fishing Lake, from what I know, has got like a pile of walleye in it. I don't think you're going to catch giants, like compared to Last Mountain, Tobin, Diefenbaker type of thing, but you're going to catch a lot of fish. A good place to go catch some eaters and whatnot. Yeah. So Clayton Schick, the hammer stick. That's pretty good. I like that. Got a donkey of the boat when I took the boy out, but he lost it. No, Sean. Sorry to hear that, bud. Sorry to hear that. That's too bad. I hope your boy catches a big one. Brendan, thank you for the super chat. We'll have a shot for everybody for the 50,000 subscribers. I guess I titled it 50,000 subscribers type of thing, so it's going to be a lot of like brought up, I'm sure, a little bit. Cheers to you, Brendan. Thank you very much, my friend. Let's go, Clayton. Congratulations. I'm so happy. It's nice to meet you out there too. Whew. I haven't had a shot for a while. It's good. The heat wave did hit us for a while. This last week, though, I spent 4 days out at Last Mountain, and it wasn't that bad. The water was still a good temperature, so the wind made everything nice and wasn't unbearable, put it that way. So, yeah, the heat wave, there's supposed to be one coming next week, I think, like in the 30s all week. So thankfully I have a bunch of videos to edit. I won't have to spend too much time out in the hot. Clayton don't like heat. I don't like heat. 50K, 50 walleye day. Heck yeah. Coming off a great last weekend, catch my PB walleye, 11 pounds, even out of Alberta. That's awesome. Congratulations, Stephen. That's a tank. Clay, I need that darn fry pan for the campfire. I do know where to get some frying pans like that. I believe the guy has 2 set aside for me because I had one other guy that wanted to buy one. So I saw your message, I think, on Instagram or something there too. I just haven't got back to it yet, Matt, or maybe Facebook. I can't remember. But message me again. And if you're in, I don't even know, are you from Saskatchewan? I can probably try to get you one. Hardwater season needs to hurry up. Man, I love ice fishing, but I love open water though too. Like I love open water, so I don't want it to go away yet. I let's see, have 4 months hopefully left of open water yet. I'm hoping, type of thing. So hard water can't come yet. Please fish with some brookies at Barbie this year. I potentially could do that for sure. Did I end up getting a waypoints to show up on my 360? I actually haven't messed with that yet, to be honest with you. From Minnesota. Yeah, Matt, I wouldn't know how to get you a pan down in Minnesota. I really don't. Steven, thank you for the donation. I will have a shot for you here in 1 minute. Real life with Mike. Yeah, she's been hot here in Manitoba. Accidentally caught almost the master channel cat on the red while I was hunting for walleye. I'd have to say fighting one with a medium rod was painful. Yeah, totally. Like accidental catches happen all the time, right? Like, Nat, it's good that when people realize that you don't want to target like catfish with something smaller or bigger fish with smaller rods, even though it's like it was so much fun. It's like, yeah, but it was so hard on the fish. But accidental catches happen. You can't stop it at all. It's gonna happen. What's the next species on the list? Morgan, I have some more walleye videos coming just because that's what I was doing the last mountain. I do have some lake trout and pike stuff planned at some point, some smallies up in northern Manitoba when I can get there. My channel's always going to be like 50% walleyes probably for the most part, and then everything else kind of mixed in. So I apologize for anybody that wants other stuff than just walleyes, but the last mountain stuff I just did was I have 4 videos coming from there, and some of them are really good, like in terms of a lot of big fish caught. Cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Clayton, do you have any summer kokanee trips or ideas? Easy through the ice, but struggling open water. I don't know. I know nothing about kokanee, unfortunately. Zero. So I can't really help you out too much. I apologize. Any news on the Savage rods? I'm still waiting to have a meeting probably with Mike at some point, but right now on their website, Savage Gear Americans, they do have some rods on there, but I'm not sure what's sold out or what's not sold out type of thing. So they do have some on there for sure. I just don't know. I don't know what they have left at this point. I know Ruby's tackle in Flin Flon got a bunch in, but they could be gone already too. I'm not sure, but so far the Savage rods have honestly been really good. I've been very happy with them. Clayton the Bassmaster. Clayton, congrats, Clayton, well deserved. Thank you. Cheers, Luke. Darcy, cheers. Anybody that I'm missing here, I apologize. Me and my dad are going to the lake tomorrow, maybe. Awesome. Good luck out there. Clayton, where can I get one of those folding measuring boards? Muskiebumper.com. Check it out. If you want a custom one for yourself, just email them. They'll have a contact us on there. But Muskie Bumper, Muskie with an IE, MUSKIE bumper.com. Hey, Clayton, huge congrats to you, man. 50K. Really wish Wollaston could have opened this year. Would have loved to get to work, learn from you. If you ever want to target Cuddy's Bulls in Alberta, hit me up. I appreciate that, dude. Hopefully next year it'll open. And yeah, I'll look forward to meeting you big time and helping you show the way up there. For sure, I have a little bit of knowledge that's been passed on to me throughout the years, and I would love to pass it on as well. So hopefully everything goes good for next year. But like Solomon just said, our guiding season, which I'm making an announcement of upcoming video, is officially canceled. So I am making full-time YouTube videos for the next year again. Next year, you guys are stuck with me. Stuck with me. Clay versus Jay versus Aaron, same lake. I agree. All your content is great, Clayton. Congrats on the 50K. Thank you very much. Hi, Clay. Hi, mister. I would give my left nut to fish with you for a day. Well, that's not good because you only have one left then. My biggest smallie, Brad, I honestly don't even know. Like 18 inches, maybe 3 pounds type of thing. I need to target a big one this year yet. Daisy's Corner. Clayton, thank you so much for sharing your skills. Where do you get those folding measuring boards? I believe I just answered that, Daisy's, but muskiebumper.com. MUSKIE bumper.com. They are an amazing bump board. I love my 36-inch one for walleye, and then my other one for the bigger fish. And cheers to you for the super chat. It's much appreciated. Cheers to you, Daisy. Oh boy. Tips on finding walleyes in deep water. bodies of water with low structure, lots of small walleye were the big ones. Not every lake holds big walleye for sure, but they're probably going to be conjugated somewhere by themselves, meaning they're not going to be with the smaller fish. Look for some like deeper structure, like say 20 to 30 foot structure that's allocated close to deeper water. I love rock humps for bigger fish. I really do. Hey, speaking of that, if you make a few bump boards, I would support you. Steven, I'm actually not making them. I'm just getting I just helped out Muskie Bumper and they helped me out. They sent me a free board and I just told them I would advertise it for a little bit by using it. So honestly, get one from Muskie Bumper. The boards are really good. Do you think the Master Angler program is going to be good for Saskatchewan, or will be tighter regulations be a priority? Ben, I think the Master Angler program is good in terms of getting people more into the fishery more, or into Saskatchewan more, into the whole thing, like getting new people involved. I think a way that we need to target though, or what we need to do when we target the whole Master Angler thing for Saskatchewan, is really push the catch and release safety factor on it. So that way when new anglers are wanting to enter Master Angler fish, they're seeing how it should be entered properly. They know how important the big fish are in that sense. So I think it's a good thing. I just think that we really need to monitor it closely in terms of like, if somebody enters a fish with like frozen eyes or stuff like that, it should not be allowed. That people, maybe like a fish that looks dead type of thing, or it's not wet at all, or that kind of thing, right? Like, I really think that it has to be monitored closely. And then there's a way if you can educate people about safe handling of big fish, I think it could be a good thing for the province for sure. It's been a blast watching you pull up them big old Lakers to the ice. Congrats on 50K watching since you uncut targeted jumbo perch in shallow water. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you following along. I really do. Do you do over catfish? I fished a little for catfish around here. It wasn't really till lately. It wasn't really a fishery that was kind of exposed because there's not a lot of catfish in our area. So I might do a video on it at some point. It was kind of more of a quiet, kept secret in that thing. But this last 2 years, that's been really getting exposed more. And we have such a small catfish population, and it's already got pretty devastated this past year. So I do fish for catfish. It's something that I just don't show on video very often and that stuff, because it is something that is very exposable and have to be careful. So yeah, it's one of those things. I do fish for a little bit of catfish, but I think like the biggest one I caught is like 36 inches type of thing, not a great big one like they do in the Manitoba system. So yeah, catfish are cool. Would you rather guide or do YouTube full time? I miss my guiding up at Walleyes for sure. I miss the clients. I miss the water, the lake. I miss the people. I miss the owners. I miss everything. So I still have definitely a couple of years of guiding in me for sure. I'm going to find a way to balance both of them though next year when I start guiding. Hopefully, maybe do like a month of guiding and then film videos for 4 days. Another month of guiding, film videos for 4 days. Like, I still think in the evenings when I'm guiding, I can maybe find a little bit of time to edit and stuff like that. So when I start guiding, I would push more to try to get like a video out weekly type of thing instead of like 2 or 3 a week. So I do miss the guiding. Imagine getting 50K people watching. Wow, 50K subscribers. Have you ever thought about ice fishing Bay de Noc? No, I haven't, because that's pretty far away from me, I believe. When sunny and warm, do you do bright colors and shallow? When overcast, do you go cool and cool? Do you go darker colors and deeper? Actually, when it's yeah, bright day, bright color for it works for sure. Usually it's like, if the lake's really clear, I'll go natural colors. If it's like got like a muddy, murky tinge to it type of thing, I'll go more to like a brighter color type of thing, like a chartreuse, orange, pink, something like that stands out maybe a little bit more. But every lake's different, and it's not necessarily in terms of sunny or and warm or cool and cloudy. It has a lot to do with like water temperatures. Once the lake gets really uniform, they'll start to spread out a lot. But like earlier season, especially the lake I'm sure that you're talking about, Scott, a lot of those fish are shallow because that's some of the warmest water. But now the deeper water is starting to be just as uniform and the same as what the shallow water is. So those fish will start sliding off and using the whole lake instead of just small little areas. How do you find your walleye spots? Me and my dad haven't caught a walleye in years. Lots of just looking around, honestly, like lots of looking experience. When you catch a walleye in one spot, write down the time of year and what you caught it on and all that fun stuff, because there's a good chance that next year that walleye's going to be around the same area again. If you haven't caught a walleye in a lot of years, maybe try fishing some bodies of water that hold more walleye, and then start learning in that aspect by just like catching a bunch of walleye and then going from there. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now I'm at a lake that doesn't have a lot of walleyes, but I know they're in here, and then you'll have a better idea for what to look for them on. But structure for the most part, look for drop-offs. And yeah, Clayton, please guide again. I'll be booked at Wallison for sure if you guide. I will be guiding next year. I'm not going to lie. I really will be. There's a couple of questions I wanted to ask and I missed here. Congrats on 50K. Do you know of any lodges, cabins that hire 15, 16-year-olds? Some of the lodges in northern Manitoba would probably take on somebody a little bit younger, where you can start in terms of like working on the dock and then eventually doing some guiding and stuff like that. It's really hard for some of the northern flying camps, though, because you have to usually be there in June, and you probably still have school in June. But honestly, just call some lodges and just see if they're close to you, and see if you can get on as a dock boy or anything to start like that. You have to start somewhere. You're not going to start like just full-time guiding. You have to be able to work your way up. Hey Clayton, what big game draw did you get, or what big game did you get drawn for? No big game draws for me this year. I didn't get my elk or moose. And the rest, I had drawn an antelope and mule deer tag last year. So, yeah. Jim, what up, Clayton? Congratulations on 50K. Clay versus Jay Bobbers only. That would be good, Jim. That would be good. I like that. I like that idea. Thank you very much for the congratulations. Appreciate everything you've done for me, my friend. If you guide again, I'll get my dad to book right away. That's awesome. If you could change one fishing regulation in Saskatchewan, what would it be? If I could change one fishing regulation in Saskatchewan, it would be for any trophy fish that's a certain size, not kept at all. Like for walleyes, I would say anything 21 inches and bigger have to be thrown back. Everything. There's no reason to keep a 22, 23, 24-inch walleye. Like 21 should absolutely be the maximum limit. Like even then, like I usually do 19 inches or smaller. As soon as I get to be 21, they just have a really thick top loin, and it just doesn't cook as well. And yeah, so I would protect our trophy fishery, would be my biggest priority. Trophy fishing is what get people into the sport and keep them coming back and bring new people in. Clayton, are there any lakes near you that have blue walleye? No, I've caught some blue walleye in northern Saskatchewan, one of our flyout lakes, but nothing near me. Congrats on hitting 50,000 subscribers, Clayton. Very much deserved. Do you know why I can't see the fish on my Helix 7 when I'm in clear mode, and Max want to see the fish, but there's too much clutter? Try turning up your sensitivity maybe a little bit on your clear mode, I guess would be the biggest thing. I use clear mode for the most part and can mark fish for sure. Sensitivity is probably your biggest thing for that, I would think. Hit the like button, people. If you could only buy one big pike muskie lure, what would it be? Probably a 8-inch line through trout, I'm thinking would be my go-to if that's the only thing I could ever use for the rest of my life. Slow sink, line through trout. Alex, congrats, Clay. Love your content and can't wait for the upcoming ice season. Cheers from down here in Minnesota. Alex, cheers to you. I appreciate that. We'll have a shot for you. I'm trying to keep up with all the questions as much as I can, so cheers, cheers, cheers. It's good. It's good. Okay, let's catch up here again, or try to. If I have missed your comment, feel free to comment again or ask the question again, and I will try my best to obviously get to it. I try to keep up with all the comments as good as I can. Would you ever consider a Clay versus everybody just for fun? Sure, I would. The only problem is, Steven, the hardest thing I find like to do something like that is like the filming aspect of it, right? Like maybe just a fun fish donkey tournament for a day, right? Like free entry where everybody just competes, something like that. I could do something like that. Maybe like just a straight all, just a walleye competition for a day. You giving me some ideas. I think I might try to do something like that at some point. Yeah, I probably could. Fish donkey, yes. Hi, Clayton, you rock. Legend. I appreciate it. What's the biggest walleye I've caught? I love this. It gets asked every question, every chat. 32.5 inches, 13.56 pounds. What's in the shot glass? Scott, tonight we were having some apple pie moonshine. It's usually my go-to shot drink type of thing. It's pretty good. Luke, cheers to you. We're gonna have a shot from this one. I really appreciate that, Luke, for the super chat. Cheers to you, my friend. And this is an apple cider. Have I caught sturgeon before? Yes, I have. I've caught both lake sturgeon and white sturgeon. The white sturgeon we did in the Fraser River. Jay, myself, and good buddy Matty Gutstuff went for a trip. And then the lake sturgeon I've caught in a few different areas. Tobin being one, Saskatchewan River, Rainy River. So yeah, when is the next giveaway? I don't know. I need to do a giveaway at some time though. Really do. Need to do a giveaway. Need to think of something. Actually, I have a Dakota Lithium giveaway coming at some point here soon for a power pack and a 23 amp hour battery. I have to finish making that video, but I do have a Dakota Lithium battery giveaway coming soon. A bowfin video. I don't have any bowfin near me, so that would be pretty tough. Do I miss fishing the Keys? I do. I miss tarpon. I do. I'd love to go down there for like 3 weeks in the wintertime, like in April type of thing, and go target tarpon again. That would definitely be on the list. What kind and weight of line should I use for bottom bouncing for walleye? The snaggier the bottom is, the heavier of the weight you want to use, if that makes sense. If it's fishing like really rocky stuff, you want to go with like a 4 or 5 ounce weight. That being said, the more you can get your line vertical, I can't tilt my arm that far, that vertical, the less chances of you having it snagged. As soon as you start getting your line that's like this, you're going to get snagged more often first. So snaggy bottom, use weights that like are heavy, like 4 or 5 ounce, 3 ounce bottom bouncer or something like that. If you have like a flat sand, go to like a 1 or a 2 ounce bottom bouncer and just put out more line. So, and line for that, I would probably run something like a 20-pound braid, something like that would probably be your best bet. Would you ever do a boat tour? I would consider something like that for sure. When you have super low water conditions like we have here in Minnesota, what is your go-to presentation for walleye when the water is super low and incredibly warm time of year? Slip bobbers would probably be a great way to start. And usually when the water is lower, the walleye fishing is going to be a little bit better. But keep in mind, or I shouldn't say keep in mind, but watch when the water's lower right now. Really watch your shoreline, because when that water goes back up, you'd be like, oh, I remember there was like a little rock bed right there, right? And that certain area. Take lots of pictures of your shoreline right now when the water is low. Keep that one like in mind, because when the water does rise again, you'll have some spots that might be very good. But usually just further in front of your spots that were normally good, maybe just like, say, if you have like a point that was good in an area, maybe you might have to slide further down the point type of thing. So they shouldn't go too far from where they usually are if the water's a lot lower. They shouldn't. They'll be somewhere in that they'll be somewhere close in that vicinity. I caught a 14 pounder here in Colorado. State records is 18 pounds 11 ounces. That's big. Speaking of salty fish, you ever caught a bluefin tuna? No, I have not. Get Peric on this Javers Clay, like Weeb. Got in one. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Peric would throw a tantrum. It would be amazing. When's a new boat coming for me? Nothing yet. I haven't ordered anything or plan on doing anything. I still have my Lumacraft, but I'm looking, starting to look for something for next year, possibly. Congratulations on the subscriber milestone. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Clayton. I have no doubt. Appreciate. What's your favorite species to target? Probably lake trout. It's just so far for me. It's like usually like a minimum like a 6-7 hour drive for my lake trout fishing. It can be a grind in that sense. It's a lot of driving, but lake trout's probably my favorite fish to target. I do love trying to figure out the walleye too, though. Fly fishing pike anytime soon? Yes, at some point. I'm thinking probably in July. I would think I'll be doing some fly fishing for pike. Manitoba for Saskatchewan, which province has better fishing? They're both so good, honestly. Like, I really don't know. Manitoba probably has some different species that Saskatchewan doesn't have, such as like crappie and bluegill. But Both of them are so good. I don't know. I really don't know. I refuse to answer that question because I honestly don't have an opinion on it. They're both so good. Have you seen otters while fishing? I have seen otters while fishing. I have. They're so cool to watch. Like they're so cool. 90 Ranger XLT and Luke. Cheers to both of you guys. Thank you very much for the super chat. It's much appreciated. Would you ever travel to Colorado for a walleye tournament? Probably not, unless something happened that I had a pile of time. But I stay so busy with the Saskatchewan and the Manitoba stuff. It's so hard to travel that far for something like that. So it's not something that'd be high on my list for sure. Like it would be cool to do, but it's just not something I can see myself doing at any time in the near future for sure. But you never know. You never know. You never know where you end up, right? Like, well, you take a right at one road, and it could lead you somewhere where you've never been before. So who knows? Yes, anyone did ask what my biggest walleye was already. Clayton, would you be able to do some summer perch fishing? I'm gonna try to do some summer perch fishing here at some point at a couple of the lakes I have. Just something I haven't had time or haven't spent time doing yet. So I probably will at some point though, for sure. What fish have you not caught in Manitoba? Bluegill and crappie. I have not caught those two species yet. Cheers, Marshall. Appreciate it, dude. Have you caught all the species in Manitoba? No, I have not. What are some plans that you have for the summer, upcoming ice fishing season? Plans for the summer, I'm going to go up north somewhere and do like I don't know, 5-6 day camping trip on the lake somewhere by myself. Not sure where or anything like that yet, but just going to go do some exploring and then hopefully get back to northern Manitoba and go hammer some of those Simon House walleye again and cranberry and athapap and do some pike fishing up there as well and a bunch of different things I'm hoping anyway. So why did you choose a tiller over a side console? More room in the boat and just fishes better for me in that sense where it's like I have my little office in there. There's more room for filming and I just think like it's the ultimate like setup for like hardcore fishing. There's when it's really windy, I love having my tiller and like sharpshooting with it and back trolling into the waves and stuff like that. Like it's really hard to beat it. Better stay with the tiller life if you upgrade your boat. I will be. I guarantee I will be. Congrats on the 50K subs. Can't believe it took this long. Hey, I do appreciate it, and it's all good. Always takes time. Always takes time. Do more camping on ice series. Yes, I did need to do some more of those for sure. What's your favorite way for cooking lake trout? Probably in a bake, like tinfoil bake on the fire or in the barbecue, something like that. A honey dill lake trout bake is probably one of my favorite ways to do it. Can we expect to see some Oprah water and lake trout videos? Yes, you can expect to see some. Clayton, any tips for fishing Lake Athapap in October? Want to target big pike in the Lakers? I'm not sure where the big pike will be in October there. But the Lakers are going to be shallow, like points, drop-offs, like in like shallow water, rocky shoals, rocky humps, that type of thing. They'll be in October. They'll be either starting or finishing their spawn type of thing. So there's a lot of area that's super protected in there too. So just stay away from the South Bays, and you have to stay in the north on the north side. But shoreline, just troll some shoreline. Honestly, you'll camera fish. Put a little Cleo spoon on or something like that, and just troll a shoreline. You'll slam. Stock trout, yes, at some point, hopefully a little bit. Are you and Jay going to do any camping videos together? It's very possible. If everything opens up, I might swing out there for some muskie at some point. We'll see what the summer brings. Unfortunately, it feels like the summer months are just too short. Like all of a sudden, it's going to be October. Like I'm scared to even blink because it's just literally going to be over. I just blinked, it's over. Clavers, Javers, uncut pike fishing, please. I would like to do that for sure. What is your favorite pike lure? My all-time pike lure for a long time has been a line through trout, 8-inch line through trout. 90 Ranger, asked you a question above. No big deal if you missed it. Get back to me offline. What was the question there, Ranger? Your super chat, the message got retracted. So I didn't see what it was. So can you send it again there, Ranger? It says here, or it says the super chat, and that says message retracted. So fire me out that message here, and I will answer it for you. If you could fish any fish in the world, what would you like to hook into? Probably a giant trevally GT or peacock bass. I think would be another one. Claver stay on ice, totally. Clayton, best budget rods, reels. I don't have any Akuma gear, but I've been fishing with the Savage Gear rods this year, and they're a pretty good budget rod in terms of like affordability, and I was super impressed with their quality. So I would definitely say the Savage Gear rods. I've been using the BattleTech series right now for walleye and for pike, and I have some of the Black Hop series too, which is maybe their more expensive brand or more line of it, but the BattleTech rods are really good, and they have another line. I just can't think of the name right now. It's the line right below the BattleTech, and Mike Olson told me that they were really good too. So look, check out the Savage Gear rods, honestly. Clayton, if we were at Athpap at the same time, could you take me out with you? If I'm not filming videos, Garrett, for sure. I wish I could fish with more people, but usually when I'm fishing, I'm filming. It's fishing has turned into work as well, right? Like it's my job to be out on the lake fishing and stuff like that, which is amazing. I love my work. Have you ever fished on Little Bay de Noc? Also, congratulations on 50K. I have not fished on Little Bay de Noc, no. Thoughts on a fluger? I've never fished much with a fluger reel, so I really couldn't give you an honest opinion with that at all. When the border BS lifts, I'm on Lake Association for the Horseshoe Chain Lakes. That fish addictions, ice fish, cats, get that on your bucket list, and we can get them after. I can't talk. We can get after them through the ice. I'm trying to talk as I'm reading it, I guess that's called reading, Clayton. I'll just drink. Everybody just rewind that and skip everything there as I stumbled through my talking through the whole paragraph. What reels do you use with your Savage? I'm mostly fishing all Savage or fishing Stratic reels for the walleye rods, and then Corrados and Tranks for my pike stuff. Just chiming in. Congrats, Clay Dog. Keep up slaying. Appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it. Clayton, have you ever met John B? No, I've never met John B. If not, any way you guys could collaborate one day, it's very possible. You never know. You never know. When John wants to come up here and slam some big walleyes or something like that, I'm pretty sure I could help him out for sure. Open water lake trout vertical jigging, your current go-to baits: tube jig, bondies, and the Savage Gear eel. Not eel, Savage Gear burbot. Those are probably my three go-to for open water jigging. What are you drinking? I'm drinking an apple cider something here. Apple cider. Do a collab with Flair. I think I found you through John B. Well, that's cool. That's cool. We would love to see you and John B fish peacock bass. That'd be pretty cool for sure. That'd be cool. What is the best pike bait to use? Glide baits or 8-inch line through trout? Who is your fishing hero? Mine is Dave Jensen. My fishing hero is probably my dad, actually, in that sense. Like, I don't really look up to any of the pros in that sense. Like, I look more up to my dad in terms of getting me into the sport, I think, more than anything. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some amazing guys out there that are good for the sport, but my dad's the one that's directly influenced me to get into the sport. So that would be my father in that sense for sure. Jigging wrap, Shiverman, or hyper rattle. I've always been a jigging wrap guy, but this last trip at Last Mountain, I just focused with the hyper rattle, the big one, the 28 gram, and it was on fire. It was really good. Really good. So yeah, I'll be using the hyper rattle, the bigger one, a little bit more. I was impressed. Is 10-inch Savage Gear burbot too big for medium-sized pike? No, the 10-inch one will be good for that for sure. For sure. Clavers J Muskie fishing on the fly with strike indicators. Dun dun dun. That would be cool. Hey Clayton, what's your thoughts about Clavers Mountain Man versus Adam Crawford? Oh man, I don't want to fish against Adam. Adam's too good. Adam's too good. Oh, actually, I just taught Adam a lesson though here yesterday. I brought out Adam. I didn't say I'd teach him a lesson, but I brought out Adam fishing with me yesterday for my 4th video of my last mountain series that's coming out, and we slayed a bunch of fish together. So yeah, so I don't know. Clay, it's gonna be Clay versus Jay for sure before probably anything else in that sense. What speed is your Hummingbird chart speed for sharpshooting fish? 7, I believe I keep it on. I believe it's 7. How much for the bottle you sipping? Here, we'll have a shot for you. It's not sipping. It's not sipping the bottle. We're having a shot every time there's a super chat. Cheers, Ray. Just sipping. Woo! What fly rod should I get for Pike? My camera won't focus. Focus camera. I'm getting all foggy. The rod brand isn't necessarily a big priority, but I would say nothing less than a 9 weight. Go with a 9, 10, or as big as a 12, depending on what size flies you're going to be throwing. But don't go anything smaller than a 9. It can be really hard on the Pike. Clayton, thoughts on a Lund Pro V Limited? Crazy how walleye boats are clearing 1,000, 100,000. I know, it's insane. I haven't looked at that boat in particular because I'm probably looking at the Pro Guide, I'm thinking, but that's pretty crazy. 100K for boats these days are wow. Is Jay your prodigy? Jay's not really my prodigy. He's probably more Aaron's prodigy. I helped out Jay in the guiding scene for a little bit, but Jay's not my prodigy. Jay's probably better than me. No, just kidding. I'm better than Jay, and he knows it. No, Jay wouldn't be my prodigy. I think my prodigy is probably Carter. I'm grooming Carter to be my next prodigy in that sense. He's gonna take over CSO one day. Actually, the guy that'll take over CSO one day will probably be my little nephew Cooper. He's got the name for it, right? Cooper Schick. Okay, here was the question that was in your super chat, Ranger. Question I asked was, I'm from the Roblin, Manitoba area. Fish, I think, one of your favorite fisheries. Can a person hire you for a day of fishing? No, you can't, because I don't have a guiding license for that lake. So I can't legally do it. And I don't really have a pile of time in that sense. If you do want to learn that lake, though, and learn how to fish it and learn a bunch of stuff about it, look up the Prairie Eye Guide Service. Mike Todorsky and his boy Mick are a good friend of mine who I learned a lot about from that lake, too. And they will help teach you how to fish that lake. So, unfortunately, I can't. I do apologize. Harley, really good videos, man. Loving the content. Congrats on the milestone. Well, thank you very much. We'll have a shot for you as well. I appreciate that. Cindy, I'm getting drunk. Oh, boy. Hey, Clayton. My 5-year-old daughter and I love watching you and your channel. Every time you have a new video, both of us get excited. I appreciate that you share it with your daughter, and I'm glad that I can produce content that is safe to watch for kids, because that's obviously part of it for sure. I want any parent to know when their kids are watching it that it's viewer friendly and it's safe for the kids to watch. Now, all that being said, when I'm drinking right now, I'm at home in my own place. I'm of age and I do it responsible. So if you are watching this and you're under of age of drinking, don't drink. Talk to your parents. Jay's a fishing phenom. Jay's not even a good fisherman. Jay's horrible at fishing. I get him on all his bites. No, I'm just kidding. I love Jay. You know that. Congrats, Clayton. Respect from North Carolina. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Favorite lakes in Ontario? I haven't fished a lot in Ontario, to be honest. Lake of the Woods so far would be probably my favorite lake that I fished over there in Ontario. That's probably it, to be honest with you. I want a hungover fishing video now. In the absence of 39 hours, Clay vs. Jay is filling up my cup. That's awesome. That's awesome. Or just watch your videos and smash the like buttons. I've learned lots from your videos on how to fish walleyes under all conditions. I appreciate that very much. I try to mix up the videos as much as I can, and I like to try to learn. I like to try to do new things and learn myself. Just recently, I did something new on Last Mountain that doesn't that a lot of people don't do out there, and I experimented and had some fun with. So it'll be coming up in a video series, but it's not a new technique out east, but it's probably a newer technique to our area, and it was pretty good. You change your tactics when the weather gets above 30? I sure do. I go in and go to sleep in the cold air conditioner. No. Usually when it gets hot, a little bit deeper, for the most part, when I say deeper, like 20 to 30 feet, if you can, type of thing. But sometimes when it gets like hot and glass combo, they'll just suspend off of the structure. So it's all depends if they're normally on a 20-foot structure, they might be 100, 200 feet away, in 20, like at 20 feet still where they normally are on their structure, but say over 50 feet. So sometimes they help suspend off. Clayton, if I PM you, can you help with carp in Last Mountain? I can definitely try. I don't know a lot about the carp out there in that sense, so I haven't spent a lot of time with them, but I can definitely try. I think like the northern areas are just full with them though. Like if you just did some chumming and stuff like that, you should be able to get into them, I would think. Congrats on the awesome accomplishment. Keep up the great content. Love your videos. Thank you very much. Does the FL S8 and the FL work good? I don't want to spend $800 on a Vexlar. I don't know anything about the Vexlars, to be honest with you, Nick. So unfortunately, I can't really help you out. I apologize for that. I don't know anything about the Vexlars at all. I only know about the Hummingbird and a little about Markham because I used to have one. But other than that, I pretty much only know about the Hummingbird stuff. So sorry, my brother Brett and I fish a lot of reserves, Fort Peck, and most guys fish main lake points exclusively. What tactics do you use on reservoirs versus lakes? Reservoirs versus lakes. Reservoirs, you'll fish a lot of shoreline, a lot of shallower stuff. For the most part, fish can move so often because usually that water is also flowing, whereas the lakes, they might not have as heavy as a flow. Lakes, you can usually count on those walleyes being in the same spots year after year. Usually they'll be like, there's always community spots, right? At Last Mountain, there's well-known spots, right? Like Fox's Point, Swanson's Point, like those are always spots. There's always fish on some point or another. Sometimes maybe there's not many, sometimes it's loaded. But lakes usually will consistently have fish in the same spots year after year, where sometimes in reservoirs they'll move around a little bit more. I think that's probably the biggest thing, the biggest difference between the two. Clayton, you're awesome guy. Thanks for the great content. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Adam. I appreciate it. Finally made a live chat. Yes, you did. And we still got like another 20 minutes yet. Do you take the Hummingbird off your boat for ice fishing, or do you have a separate helix? I have some separate ones, but there's nothing wrong with taking the one off of your boat for ice fishing. Like I will, in that sense, like I will use all my mapping and all my waypoints, though. I'll just pull that stuff off and use my helix for the winter, but I have some separate ones set aside that I use just for the winter stuff, but they'll work great by just moving them back and forth for sure. If the borders open back, any plans to link up with Jay or Aaron? Yeah, for sure. We've been chatting a little bit to try to do something at some point. We just don't know what or when yet. I'm thirsty. I'm also sorry if I seem a little bit more tired today. I just finished, like I said a few times, 4 days on Last Mountain. I think I slept a total of like 4 hours a night for 4 nights or 3 nights out there. I just spent so much time fishing. It was amazing in that sense. I only had one bad weather day, which I still fished in, like huge winds. But I'm just like, today I'm trying to edit the first day of it, and I'm just like, oh, I'm like a zombie all day. So it's been a grind, and now I'm trying to stay awake. Any idea what Pike like? Any idea what Pike like to do in 30+ degree weather? They don't like to do much. When it gets super hot, they don't get super active. Like they'll have a small meal and they'll just hunker down and hardly move. When it's really hot, pike don't move a lot. And that sense, they're not building up an appetite because they're not burning energy, so they don't have to eat more. So really, really small lures will probably be your best bet when it comes to something like that when it gets hot. But because they don't do a lot when it gets 30 degrees. That's tough fishing. Do you fish for smallmouth bass in Saskatchewan? No, I've never fished for smallies in Saskatchewan ever. What is the maximum wind you will fish in? Jim, honestly, I'll fish in as windy as it can be if I'm not filming. I love lots of wind for like walleye fishing. It can be amazing. Obviously, where it gets to be, you want something that you're not going to be uncomfortable in, where it's not safe, right? Like 50-kilometer-hour winds are heavy, but if you can hide out a little bit and fish some windy points that aren't like crazy windy, it's amazing. But the problem is for me, filming in the wind is impossible. And I think on day 3 of my series that's coming out is like day 3 was like so windy, and I literally cleaned my camera off like every 25 seconds. I think I cleaned my camera off in the water more than I was actually fishing. What is a good bait to fish for bass in dirty water? You know what? I don't fish for a lot of bass in dirty water, but if I was a bass in dirty water, I would, and looking for food, I would be focusing a lot on vibrations, like with my my lateral line. Chatterbaits. I think chatterbaits would be really good in dirty water, personally. And maybe rattle baits, like as in like lipless crankbait, something like that. I think that's what I would fish for. What brand fluoro leader do you use? I've been using the Suffix Advanced fluorocarbon leaders, 8 to 14 pound. I think I've been running mostly. Laklahash produce farm. Thank you so much. Best frostbite rod for Lakers if you could only choose one. If I could only choose one of the rod for frostbite, it would be the Mr. Big. The heavier one, which I'm having a brain fart for the name right now. Holy cow. The Slugger is really good for the heavier baits. But the Mr. Big will handle pretty much everything up to a 2-ounce, say tube jig, but it'll also handle a 45-inch lake trout, no problem. So if I had to get one lake trout rod only from the Frostbite, it would be the Mr. Big. But if you could add 2 of them and have one for medium-sized baits and then one for bigger baits, it'd be the Mr. Big and the Slugger. So on that note, also, thank you so much for the super chat. That is that's amazing. Like, awesome. Thank you so much. Cheers to you. I appreciate it very much. Wow. Oh boy. If you had a chance to completely start over on boat electronics, what would you run? Also, we've got Gen 2 Hummingbird, DISI graph. How big of a difference clarity Gen 2 versus latest? If I could start everything over for boat electronics, I would still be running the Helix. I think they're the best bang for your buck in that sense. I think the Solixes from the Hummingbirds are awesome, but I think the Helix will do everything I need to. Honestly, Hummingbird has the best mapping out there. Side imaging is amazing. The down imaging, the Mega 360 this year, what I've done with it, it's so good. And I know once I get a hand on the Mega Live that I'm going to be able to fine tune those settings in, and it's going to be good too. So I wouldn't change. Honestly, I love the Hummingbird stuff. I really do. I would run Helixes, and then I would always get as big as a graph as you could afford, basically. The 10 and the 12s are going to be your best sizes, most likely. But there's nothing wrong with, like, say, running some 7s or whatnot. But, like, if you were going to get one, I'd get, like, a 12. If you were going to get two 9s or something like that, right? Like, it all depends what you're going to do. What's up, Mr. 50,000? Cheers to you. Would you ever take a trip to Montana to fish Flathead Lake? There's some big lakers in there. That would be pretty cool. Flathead Lake. I'll have to keep that in mind. I would like to fish Montana at some point, so I would definitely consider something like that for sure. You're very welcome. Laklahash Produce Farm, right? I hope I'm saying that right. Laklahash. I should know that, right? Like, because our up beside us, it's Laklahash. I'm pretty sure that's right. Do you ever bottom bounce? Eric, I don't bottom bounce a lot only because I find it boring. Like, I do want to learn how to pull blades a little bit more. I think that's a little bit better, like when you can move a little bit quicker. But like bottom bouncing, I just pictured going forever down a contour line and just like waiting for a bite. It's so boring. But if I had to do it, I would for sure. I would like to learn how to bottom bounce blades more. Or I think I'm going to try a few different things, a few ideas this year with bottom bouncers too that might make things a little bit more exciting for me. You have the best channel ever, in my opinion. I think at 50,000, it's just a small milestone for where you're going. Is it hard to get licensed for Lake of the Prairies? Thank you so much, Ranger. I appreciate it. I'm not sure how hard it would be to get licensed for guiding there. I really don't know. I'm not sure. I know you probably haven't fished Lake Superior for pike, but what do you think I should look for? Well, Gunner, I really don't know. I don't know. Like, I would start near some shallow bays if you can find, obviously, and then like go out from there. But I wouldn't know. Like, I don't know those lakes how they work. Like, I hear a lot of like open water trolling for that stuff out there and whatnot. So I really don't know, to be honest with you. Like, I apologize. I really do. What do walleye do in cold weather? Stop eating. No. Usually smaller presentations, and you have to slow down your presentation a lot. A lot. Central BC, north of 100 Mile House, BC, Epic Lake or fishing all around. That's very cool. It's very cool. Are you going to try to hit the St. Paul Ice Fishing Show this year? I feel that Otter must be trying to twist your arm. Otter hasn't asked me to come down there, but I know that they would love to have me if I do. It's definitely a potential. The biggest problem with a lot of those ice shows in the States is like it's starting like when my like prime ice fishing is here for big walleyes, right? And putting out the videos is just as important. So if I could fly down there for like a quick, 2 days of the show, turn around and come home, I can afford to do something like that. But I always have to think that like how much time I put into the filming, right? Because it's like if I fish for a few days and film for a few days and usually a day of organization, well, heck, already it's 5, 6, 7 days, and I've only fished for 2 days type of thing. So I would like to get down to the St. Paul Ice Fishing Show, though. I think an appearance down there would be probably a good thing for the channel in the long run. So I've definitely considered it for sure. We'll see what COVID restrictions are like by then. Ray, $10. You never said how much for the bottle. I'll add $10. Congratulations on 50,000. Thank you so much, Ray. I'll have another drink for you. The whole bottle is a lot. Plus, then I wouldn't be able to edit, right? Like I have to, after I'm getting off this live chat, I'm going to edit for a little bit. I got to get a video out by. I'm hoping to have the first Last Mountain video out by Sunday night, I believe. Cody, if you had any tips to turn a 1 or a 2 day fish day, if you had any tips to turn a 1 or 2 fish day fishing for lake trout into a 4 or 6 day, what would be your advice? What would be my advice? That's a good question. If you fish the lake a lot, I would do what's called a milk run. A milk run is like where you hit all of your best spots in a short amount of time. If you haven't fished the lake a lot, I would say spend as much time as you can with your bait in the water. The more time you keep your bait in the water, you're going to catch more fish. I'll give you an example. I went to Athapap Lake this past fall, and it was like if I drove around lots marking fish, whatever, for right, and then fish for 5 minutes, yeah, I'd catch a fish maybe. But if I would just drop down my little Cleo spoon and literally troll down a shoreline, I'd catch 5 fish. So more time fishing than looking. That being said, honestly, repeat whatever you caught your first fish on. Just keep repeating it for the whole day, right? Like a lot of times, what's working to start with is going to keep working. Maybe you'll have a little bit of a lull for a little bit, but as soon as you say, if you catch a fish in your first 5 minutes with a little Cleo spoon, and you catch nothing for 45 minutes, and you go, you know what, this isn't working. I'm going to try a tube jig for the next hour, and you don't catch anything for that whole hour in a tube jig, but then you drop your little Cleo spoon down again, and bang, you catch another fish. So what I'm saying is that whatever's working for you, if you spend the most time with that lure, it's going to be your best percentage of catching fish. Honestly, the biggest answer to catching the most fish is just keeping your lure in the water as much as you can. And the obvious answer to really answer that is just double your time out fishing. If you fish for 6 hours and catch 2 fish and want to actually catch 6 fish or 4 fish, fish for 12 hours. There really isn't a great answer to that, Cody, and I kind of beat around the bush a few times, and blabbled a little bit, so I apologize for that. Wish I could help more. I do. How's it going tonight, Clay? It's going good. Congratulations, brother. I'm enjoying your videos for quite a while now. I appreciate you watching my videos very much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ranger, thank you for answering my questions. Keep up the good work. Cheers to you. Thanks for the super chats. And if you're ever out on that lake and you happen to see me, drop by, say hi. Probably put a waypoint where you talk to me, because probably a good spot to come back to at some point, I would think, unless I'm just looking for new areas, then maybe it's not a good spot. But cheers to you. Do you ship your merch, or do you have your company ship you for you? Gunner, I ship some of it. I ship the CSO hats, the toques, and the primetime hoodies, which I'm still working on. The other stuff from YouTube, they ship it out though, from Teespring. The chartreuse hoodies, the jig and a minna, and whatever else I have on there right now. And then Dason, yes, there's hopefully some new merch coming out at some point. I have to talk with Jason. He was working on some Not Gonna Lie merch, and yeah, so hopefully we can hopefully I can get some new merch out soon. Best spots at Last Mountain Lake. Pelican Point is like always solid down there at Pelican's Point. Like, you're going to catch fish, and if you fish it consistently, you're going to catch big fish. I was going to fish Last Mountain Lake, and it was the only spot I could fish, probably Pelican Point. I didn't grow up near. Oh, I know. I grew up right near Avonlea. I've never fished Avonlea. Pasqua has been amazing. I'd like to spend some more time at Pasqua. I went out there with Adam just for a couple hours to test his boat, and we caught carp. Hardly any walleye. We caught carp. We didn't do very good. Derek Neal says hello from underground. Well, hello, Derek. I need to get up and see him up north. Derek's a good dude. Congrats, Clayton. You need to try kayak fishing with pedals. No better way to cruise. Man, I don't even want to kayak fish. You guys that kayak fish are crazy. Good for you guys. I'd have that kayak tipped over and all my cameras would be gone instantly. I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. From prep to fishing to video editing, how long does it take you to make a YouTube video? 3 to 4 days for one video would probably be a good answer. If you were gonna like say like the prep, the fishing, the video editing, all that, it's probably 4 days for one video would be the right answer for that. And if fishing sucked, add an extra day, right? Like if fishing was really bad, although this year I think I've pretty much made a video for almost every trip I've gone out, maybe with an exception of a couple, one or two. I've been very lucky this year with the fishing. Has been very good for me, and even when fishing so-so, I still try to make a video out of it. But yeah, so 4 days would be the answer. What's a good spot for Lake of the Prairies to catch some big walleye? You know what, Trent? I don't really do great for big walleye out there. Like the biggest walleye I usually catch Lake of the Prairies are 24 to 26 inches, and they're kind of everywhere. I still trying to crack the code for giants. I don't know. Gotta figure it out. Ever thinking about collaborating with Justin Jenkins? Who's Justin Jenkins? No kidding. At some point, I'm sure we'll do something, but he's a long ways away. It cost me like $10,000 just to fly up there and come back. Like, that's crazy. Crazy. Congratulations to the 50K. Thank you very much. Next time you're up this way, you have to pull a couple of masters out of Schist Lake. I'll have to. I'm gonna screenshot that Schist Lake, because then I'm gonna do some research on it. I think I remember seeing that lake at some point. I just can't remember what's in it right now. I took a picture of that right in Flin Flon. I'll have to remember that then. Hey Clayton, it's been a while watching for a while. Here's to 100,000. Yes, 100,000 coming up. Can we hit 100,000 in a year from now? That's the goal. Took 3 years pretty much to do 50,000. Can we do another 50,000 in 1 year? I don't know. Hopefully. Clapton. Yeah, I know you meant Clayton. Whatever happened to Bubba Ray? I locked him up. Bubba Ray's trouble. Bubba Ray's no good. No, Bubba Ray will make an appearance at some point again. Bubba Ray usually comes out when Clayton needs a little bit of a kick in the butt to get going again. What's a great spot for Last Mountain Lake? Big Eyes. Pelican's Point. Regina Beach Point. There you go. 2 good spots. Even if you don't, I'll be watching. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll still be making videos a year from now if I don't hit 100,000. I've kind of been enjoying it. I really have. It's a lot of work. It's probably adding years to my life, but it's a lot of work. First 50K is the hardest. They will start following like mad. We'll see. We will see. I got to make good videos, right? Like, I got to stay with it. I really need to focus more at times, I think. You know what it is? It's like never, it goes with anything in life. Like, never be happy, not necessarily happy, but never be satisfied with what you have going on. Like, don't get down on yourself, but don't settle. Keep pushing forward, right? If you don't reach it, don't be disappointed. But that's the only way to just keep getting better is keep pushing, push. I just got back from a good day of walleye fishing. Good for you, Taylor. I love to hear people have good days of fishing. That's awesome. It's awesome. How many hours of editing go into your average CSO video, like sitting in a computer editing? I'd say an average is 8 hours, probably. What's the worst to get cooked in the boat sitting? What's the worst to got cooked? I'm in the boat sitting in the sun. Just did 3-hour days and got destroyed my wrist. Oh, getting cooked in a boat is the worst. Where's your cat? I don't know. Tigger ran away. Maybe Cindy, bring Tigger down so we can say goodbye since he was in the thumbnail. We need to bring Tigger down here for the end of the video. He's the best. Tigger's the best. This cat just loves me too. It's unreal. I appreciate it, Dason. I really do. That spot you fished with your buddy for jackfish in a little bay. Where is that been trying to find it, but no luck? I can't tell you. I can't give you that. It's just a little bay. It was just a little tiny bay. Crooked Lakes doesn't have a lot of little bays, you know. What spots would you recommend at Crooked or Round Lake for rock bass? You know, I haven't really tried Crooked Lake for rock bass. They're there. Find anything like that's got lots of rocks in it though. Like literally rock bass, like rocks, like literally. And I'm gonna actually do some rock bass fishing this year. That's like a goal of mine for sure, is to do some rock bass fishing on the channel. But maybe I'll have to try Crooked a little bit. Where am I from, Clay? I'm from Melville, Saskatchewan, Canada. Have you ever tried the line through Trout by Savage Gear? Haven't even. Not only have I tried it, I'm like one of the people that helped bring it into Canada like 8 years ago when it like first came out, type of thing. Like I have tried it and I've caught monsters on the line through Trout, and it's probably my best pike bait all time. Any plans in your future to fish Lake Winnipeg for Walters? I would think probably I will be fishing Lake Winnipeg this ice fishing season as long as the COVID things go. I think I'll do some stuff with Travel Manitoba, hopefully out there this winter. I really do. And for Melfort, Saskatchewan, what's the best place to go around here? Nipawin Lake, Tobin, right there. Melville, home of the millionaires, the Melville Millionaires. What knot you tie for braid to fluoro? I use a uni to uni knot. Sup. Even though I feel like you're saying what's up with a party hat, I think you're one of the guys that you're the guy that always says you guys wish you could be as good as Taro. You guys are just jealous of Taro. I'm pretty sure I recognize that name. I know you. Get Sydney down here for a shot. Yeah, let's make Sydney do a shot. Hoping to see you on the Great Lakes this winter. I don't know if I'll get at the Great Lakes. I really don't. That'd be great to see you there at the St. Paul Ice Show. It's definitely possible, Jim. I would love to come down there and spend some time, like obviously in the Otter booth, Ion booth, like all those booths, right? I'd love to go spend a bunch of time out there. I do agree with you. Taro is the best. I love Taro, like more than you know. Taro is amazing. He is. Cindy, where's Tigger? I'm sure she's watching this. She'll be listening. Taro is annoying. Taro's awesome. I love Taro. Love him. I've never fished Minnesota at all. I don't think. I really don't think I have. See, I knew. Backwater speckled trout tips in the summer. I don't know anything about speckled trout. Hi, was he sleeping?
Yeah.
Where was he sleeping?
In his little bed.
Was he?
In Lucy's bed.
Tigger, say hi. Touch your feet. Tigger, say hi. He's purring. Do you guys hear him purr?
He's half asleep.
He is half asleep.
Hi, buddy.
He's so tired. He's purrs so loud. Tigger is this cat that's like, he could be sleeping and you can wake him up and start petting him. He doesn't get annoyed. He just instantly starts purring. Look at the hair on the video. You can't see it in the air. Well, you can. He's just like instantly purring. Jason says hi.
Hi, Jason. Tell them on the video, when you're editing, and he'll just come and sit beside you.
When I edit, he'll come to the computer and he'll just look at me and go, meow, and he meows lots, believe it or not, and then he'll jump on the stool and then jump up. Yes, this cat is enormous. We know, don't we? I call him Fluffy. He is an awesome cat. Claver Cindy in the future? Do you have a Claver Cindy?
Clayton doesn't stand a chance.
Oh, I haven't told him yet that your daughter Ray's coming out to fish.
Yeah.
A $15 bottle is cheap. Ray, thank you. Oh, you know what? I think we should make Cindy do this shot.
Ooh.
Cindy, this is for you. Just a little one here, hey? You have a little shot.
My mom and dad are watching this upstairs.
At your house?
Yeah, they're upstairs.
They're here?
Yeah.
Oh,
they came
jeez.
to see Lucy.
Yeah, you better have a shot, Cindy.
So they're watching it.
Oh, boy.
Cheers, Dad.
Maybe take your parents up a shot. Right, Tigger? Yeah. That's Javer's Clay Pike edition, or Pike edition, yes. Who do you think would win in a fight between a taco and a grilled cheese sandwich? Oh, probably a grilled cheese sandwich. I don't know. That's an awkward question.
Hi, buddy.
Awkward. Love the movie Hot Rod. Hot Rod's a good movie. What? Oh, what? You see something? Oh, you need to have a shot.
That is like really warm, right? Like,
It's called alcohol. Have another shot.
I had a Malibu rum and pineapple.
Did you? Oh, I spilled. I only have receipts. I don't have. Look at this. This is the life of a YouTuber. Somebody, I need somebody to do my books. Oh. Cheers, Ranger. Appreciate it. Oh, and Ray, you had the shot for Ray. Oh, amazing. When's the Clay versus Carter, boat versus boat? I don't know. At some point, I have to put cameras in his boat. Maybe give him a head cam or whatever. I guess I give him a head camera and audio.
Carter's
we'll see.
Underground right now.
Carter is underground right now. He's working this week, so he's not fishing this week. He did a bunch of overtime too, so he never even fished much last week though. But yeah. Anyways, I think we're gonna wrap up the chat here. Maybe we'll do another one next week, like Thursday, something like that. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that. I'd like to try to do one like once every week type of thing, just to hang out with the peeps, answer some questions. It was nice. This week there wasn't a pile of people in here, so the questions weren't like crazy. It was good. I'll do your book work for room and board, and use Ned rigs for a lot of bass fishing. They're so good. Thursday, yeah. See, somebody already is gonna hold me to that. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Like I said, I apologize. I'm tired. But I'm going to go do some editing right now and try to get the last mount video out by Sunday. So thank you everybody for watching. Later all. Cheers. You guys are the best. Thanks. Thank you everybody for the 50,000. You're amazing. Bye.